One, so there's still a few people logging in, but let's kick off. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Armstrong. For those of you who don't know me, I'm one of the co-founders of Rate My Agent, and today, awesome day. I'm back in the office first of all. So for those of you not in Victoria, it's an awesome time in Victoria. We're out and about. We can go to a pub. It's exciting times. But today we're going to talk about not pubs. We'll do that later. But what we're going to talk about is just give you an update as to where we are with Rate My Agent for mortgage brokers. Some new features that we just launched post existing reviews. I'm going to show you how that works. And also the last time we did this little webinar, we had a few people just wanting a refresher or just on how to get reviews. So I'll do that at the same time. But what I really want to talk about is SEO as well, and the importance of SEO. I'm not going to get down into the bloody nitty gritty of the technical aspects of it, but just really show you some examples of why SEO is so important and what it really means. So that's what we're going to talk about. As always, if anyone's got any questions, please put them in the chat, and I will certainly get to them all, or you can put them in the Q&A as well, which I'm going to put over there so I can see it as it comes through. Any questions about anything we do here at Rate My Agent, any ideas you want to discuss, anything, cool, let's go for it. There's really no questions that we won't answer, and we love to be a very transparent business. So let's just give you an update. We've had a great, I think, one of the best features of Rate My Agent just recently launched, and that's what we call post existing reviews. We had a lot of mortgage brokers who said, hey, we really love it, but we want to boost our SEO juice, which I'm going to get to, but we want to build out that digital footprint. But we've got all these other reviews in other areas, or people have sent us emails over the years, which are reviews, and they've sent us cards and all that sort of stuff. How do we get all of those reviews into Rate My Agent? Because we don't want to have to ask our customers to write those reviews again. So that's what we call post existing reviews. So I'm going to share my screen with everyone. Let me put that up here so I can do that. I should have been prepared, but I'm not. So I put that up there. So I'm going to share my screen here. All right, so everyone, you should see the screen now. So for anyone who is not familiar with this screen, what this screen shows is let me go to more chat. I've got that up here now as well. So what this is the mortgage broker's dashboard. So when you have a Rate My Agent account, this is where you log in, and this is the dashboard. You're able to edit your profile here and access our social media manager and linked accounts, which is our Google linked accounts. But this is really the tab I just want to talk about here now. So if you want to request a new review on Rate My Agent, it's really simple. You simply you click at this button here that says request new review. You tell us whether it's a new purchase or whether it's a refinance of a loan. Type in your customer's name, email address, the transaction address. So again, for people who are new to Rate My Agent, every review is linked to the transaction, and every review creates its own unique web page. And that's what really gives us this SEO juice, which I'll talk about. So put in the address, the date that the property settled. You can put in a personal message here. You don't have to, but we highly recommend that you do. And then you click request review. So a lot of people, I think we're up to 7,000 or 8,000 reviews have been posted for mortgage brokers already. And I think that the mortgage broker with the most reviews at the moment is getting close to 100. So a lot of people out there are already using that feature, and it's a very, very simple feature to use. To give you an idea, the conversion rate we get on that feature, requesting a review, it's up at around 55 to 60%. So when you request a review through this mechanism, around about 55 to 60% of the time, the review will come back. So it's an awesome result. But this is the new feature, post existing review. How awesome is this? So with this feature, you're not asking your customer to write the review again. So you're not putting them through that sort of hassle of writing the review again. What you're doing is you're simply giving the review a heading, copying and pasting a review that you might have received in Google or an email or wherever it is, another review platform, but you want to bring it into Rate My Agent. So you copy and paste the review in here. You tell us whether it was a new purchase or a finance, and you do exactly the same: client's name, email address, transaction address. But when we send that, or when you send that email to that customer, you're not saying, hey, can you please write a review for me? You're just asking them to click a button to verify the review. You can actually put the review up as unverified, but we suggest that you get verified reviews, which just means that your customer has clicked a button and said, yes, I verify that that's a genuine review. So we're really, a lot of mortgage brokers were asking when that feature was coming. It's been there for real estate agents for a long time. The real estate agents love it. So we're really rapt to be able to launch it for mortgage brokers as well. Also, you'll see some other things that have been released as well, and that's we've now got the pending section here. So you can see people when you sent the review request, whether it's been opened, how many reminders have got to go. So you can see here that these are pending reviews and these are now completed reviews. So over the last few weeks, we've really focused on building out that full picture of that review platform, and making this system really easy to use. So I'm not getting any comments on that. I assume everyone says thumbs up. So yeah, still lots to build. You'll see a lot more features coming, and a lot more. It's always stuff that we're going to do here. We're rapt to have released those things. So I'm not sure whether anyone's got any questions about that, about some of those basic things, but let's get into, and if anyone has, just flick them through. But let's get into SEO. A lot of people talk about SEO, but not many people really grasp what it means. And I sort of, when I look at SEO, I don't really talk about SEO. What SEO means to me is organic traffic. At Rate My Agent, we have really focused on organic traffic. Now, organic traffic is traffic that comes via search, via Google, or via Yahoo, or everyone knows that most of it comes via Google. So it's traffic that comes to your website, not direct, not by typing in your website name and coming in, or not from an email, or not from some paid advertising. Organic search is, or organic traffic is traffic that comes when people search in Google, and you come up in the search results, and they click on it and they come into your website. It's really important traffic, and one of the most important reasons, or one of the reasons it's really important traffic, is it is 100% free. Organic traffic, as a company, we have been absolutely focused on driving that organic traffic, that SEO juice. It's something that we have a whole team in our business that just focuses on organic traffic. And for our website, our organic traffic has more than doubled since the start of the year, and it's a huge focus. We now get, I think we're now in October, we'll be over 500,000 unique visitors. Almost 2 million page visits to Rate My Agent in the month of October. So that's really working for us, and it's also working for you as well. So organic traffic is really important. The other thing to remember, I've actually got a question here from Wayne. Obviously, the company name is Rate My Agent, but when people are in RMA, 99% of the text states Rate My Agent, and there is little mention of Rate My Broker. I think we deserve a better mention. Is there a plan to do this? Hey, Wayne, we 100% agree. I think the way we build this platform is in what we call an agile and a constant sort of a constant iteration on the platform. And we absolutely agree that we're continuing to build out that mortgage broking brand. I'm not sure if you've seen, Wayne, but we have our Mortgage Broker of the Year awards, and giving a whole designation to mortgage brokers. To be perfectly honest with you, Wayne, we didn't even know whether this was going to work. It's only a few months ago that we tested this, and we've been absolutely run off our feet with people using the platform. So Wayne, we 100% agree with you. giving more, changing the look and feel for mortgage brokers and giving the mortgage broking area of our website more prominence is absolutely something that we will be evolving over time. So just bear with us, but it's a really good point, and we absolutely agree with you. So let's going back to organic traffic. I think what we all have to understand is the reality is that more than 50% of traffic to websites across the world originate from Google. People starting with a Google search and then clicking into a website. So it's around 50 or over 50% of all traffic originates from Google. So that's what SEO is all about. SEO is all about that when someone types in your name, that not only you appear there, but you have as much information as possible there. You have all of your contact information, you have all of your reviews, you have all those, we call them positive stories. You take up every part of that advertising space because it's free advertising, but you take up every part of that advertising space that you possibly can. And you, thanks Wayne, makes sense, cool. You take up every part of that advertising space that you can, because more than 50% of the traffic that comes to your website originates from that space. I'm getting excited because it's bloody true. And if you're not harnessing that SEO, you are not getting the full benefits of that organic traffic. So let me give you some examples of what I mean by this. I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to show some examples of what it looks like when someone does a search. So here's a mortgage broker who's already got 20 reviews on Rate My Agent, George Minsky. I hope I pronounced that right. And he's Rate My Agent's really working well for him. You see here that, and I've put in George reviews, Minsky reviews, and he's coming up #1 here. In terms of his Rate My Agent reviews. He's also coming up #2 here, which is an individual review that's come up. His MoneyQuest webpage is coming up as well. LinkedIn's coming up. So he's got some good SEO here. But look at this. Look at all of that white space that he's not harnessing. That is free advertising space that George is just not, I've got some chats coming through, that George is just not harnessing. He's got a good start with SEO, but he's not harnessing Google My Business. So he's not taking full advantage of that SEO, of that organic traffic. Let's go a step further. So here's another agent. This is Jim Henwood. And I've typed in here Jim Henwood mortgage broker, and you can see here there's a whole lot of paid ads, because when you type in mortgage broker, people pay for those words. But again, the first organic result that comes up here, which most people are looking for, they're not looking for ads, is his Rate My Agent profile again. I keep coming back to it. We've worked really hard on this SEO juice. This is an absolute focus of our business. And by having a Rate My Agent profile, all of that SEO, all of that work that we've done is already benefiting Jim here as well. But look at this. Look on the right-hand side here. He's now, by using Google My Business, we did a session on Google My Business the other week, and Google My Business is really important for SEO. You're seeing that the business that he works for, eSelect Finance, when I search for his name, it's connected to this Google My Business page. He can connect himself to his business page, or he can have his own personal page, his own page as a mortgage broker. So he's starting to take advantage of that advertising space. But look at this, 2 Google reviews. We're not getting full advantage here. Yes, he's got Rate My Agent reviews. He's got 45 Rate My Agent reviews, but he's only got 2 Google reviews. That doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for a number of reasons. Consumers don't think that looks good. And if I click on here, 2 years ago, he got a Google review. No, people and customers and Google want consistently updating information. Google loves content, and it loves new content. If it's not getting new content consistently, how many people's websites they put in a review there when they build a website and they leave it there for 10 years and they never change it? Google loves fresh content because Google's constantly coming back and searching. And when it comes back and finds new content, it says, I'm going to come back there next week again because I think there might be some new content there. That's what Google's about. Google's about content. But if it comes and it searches and there's no new content, then it says, well, bugger that. That's a dormant site. I'm not going to go back there. And that's bad from an SEO point of view. It loves new content. So we're not seeing a really great result here. We're not seeing that although we're taking advantage of this Google My Business and we're taking advantage of all of this free advertising space, we're not really harnessing our Google reviews here. And we're not harnessing our Google posts. There's a great opportunity here to post into Google My Business. So when we looked at George, George is sort of, okay, Rate My Agent profile is going well, but he's probably only 25% of the way there from an SEO point of view. When we look at Jim, Jim's connected to his Google My Business page. He's probably 50% of the way there. But let's now have a look at a profile, someone that we use as an example quite a bit here. Let's look at Damien Roylance and Entourage Finance. So I've just typed in Damien Roylance here, just his name. And I've just got a couple of questions there. Apologies, I came late with the webinar. Sorry, I've lost me with what SEO means. Okay, Tracy. So SEO is search engine optimization. So SEO is essentially a search engine is Google. And so when you type in, like I've typed in here, Damien Roylance, SEO, search engine optimization, is the information, the content that comes up here. And you really want content that you want to come up here. To be here. So that's what, Tracy, if you've got more questions about that, it's free. It's not paid advertising for Google. This is free. The best thing about search engine optimization and organic traffic is that it's free. So Tracy, if you've got more questions, anyone here can come and talk to our team at support@ratemyagent.com.au. Happy to talk you through more about this. But SEO is essentially where you come up in the Google search ranking. And Damien's SEO here is wonderful. Just his name, Damien Roylance, his Rate My Agent profile is coming up #1 here. His Entourage, his business is coming up #2 and 3. So his LinkedIn profile is coming up. So he's really harnessing. I mean, Rate My Agent's beating all the others, and that's because we've spoken about digital footprint and every review being linked to the transaction. I'll go into Damien's profile in a second. But let's look at some other things that he's doing here to really get the full benefit. Look at his Google reviews, 172 Google reviews. So what Damo's doing here is he's funneling his Rate My Agent reviews into Google reviews as well. So we have a product where you can connect Google My Business to Rate My Agent. So let's click on here. Let's click on his Google reviews. And you can see here that this is for transparency. I recently just bought a property and used Damien as my mortgage broker, and you can see here that's the review that I left. But if we just scroll down here, you can see that that this review, more than just big banks, that was received 3 days ago. Here it is here, more than just big banks. So this review in Google actually originated from Rate My Agent. So, sorry, that's Vincent. So I was going to get to that. This is Vincent's profile, who also works in Entourage. So Damien has Vincent and his own reviews being syndicated into Google reviews, as well as his own reviews here. So this is one I was going to show you. I think it was seamless from start to finish. So if I come in here, and I look at newest, it's this one here, great and honest broker. So what they're doing here, Vincent and Damien, is they're using Rate My Agent's review syndication So when they get a review in Rate My Agent, it prompts their customer to not have to write the review again, but it prompts them to copy and paste it into Google reviews. So he's really taking advantage of Google reviews. We believe Google reviews are really important. They're really important, but there is a limitation with Google reviews, and that is that the conversion rate is reasonably low. So I said before that when you request a review through Rate My Agent, around about 55% of the time, the review is posted. So we have around about a 55% conversion rate. When you request a review from Google, the conversion rate's only about 10%. And the reason it's so low, I got this wrong the other day, but technically wrong, but you need some sort of Google account, whether it's a Gmail account or a YouTube account or some sort of Google account to be able to post a review into Google. So it's quite a barrier to entry. So what we highly recommend is capture your reviews at Rate My Agent first, and then we syndicate them across into Google reviews. So really important. So you can see here, Damien's really getting advantage. It's not just his reviews. It's also, I've just typed in Vincent Moore reviews here, and you can see that he's also linked to the Entourage Google My Business page. You can see that an actual review has come up as #1. So SEO is starting to work for Vincent. So they're really taking advantage of all that SEO juice. But let's look at also what's happening here. Go Damien here. They're also getting the SEO benefit here. So because Damien has been using the platform for a little while, he's appearing here as reviews from the web. But look what he's doing down here as well. This is what we call Google Posts. So Damien's linked into what we call our social media manager. He's connected Google My Business to his account. So I'll show you how that works. If you go onto linked accounts here within your profile, you can link Google My Business and Facebook. It's really easy to do, but our support team can certainly help you do that. So now he's posting directly into, he's not doing this himself. Our system's doing it for him. He's just set the system, and it looks like Vincent's done it as well. So there, Vincent and Damien are both posting reviews into Google My Business every day or every week, whatever they can set it as free. They can set the frequency, and if I click on these reviews, it takes me into all the reviews that have been posted there. And if I click on Learn More, it takes us straight into the actual review itself. So these guys are really harnessing the full SEO, the full organic traffic that they can get, the full SEO benefits. So when I type in Damien's name, he's getting the full benefit of SEO here. He's getting Google reviews. He hasn't got 2 reviews. He's got a lot of reviews that are coming through Rate My Agent. He's getting the SEO benefit here, and he's also using Google Posts. So that's my rant. I think there's a number of questions that have come through. Wayne's asked here, my Google business profile is linked to Rate My Agent profile, but the reviews don't look to be auto updating to Google. It is showing as active on my dashboard. Looks like there may be an issue. So Wayne, possibly so. I recommend you contact. We've got a wonderful support team, support@ratemyagent.com.au. If you contact them, they'll certainly have a look at that. You know, Google can be a bit of a finicky sort of platform to use. Google My Business can be a little bit finicky, but certainly our support team can help you with that. So I certainly recommend that you contact our support team there. So I don't think I've got any other questions coming through. Let me unshare. Unless anyone has got some more questions of me, Wayne and Tracy, I think I've answered those questions. I'm looking at chat here. Okay, so unless there's any other questions, I'll just sort of sum up that I think that the most important thing to take away from this is that organic traffic is really important. SEO, search engine optimization, is what drives organic traffic. Organic traffic is free. Rate My Agent, having a Rate My Agent profile has already been optimized to harness that SEO. As you saw, when I typed in those mortgage brokers' names, they came up #1. Linking them to Google My Business, you can do that as a pro user of Rate My Agent. You can link to Google My Business. You can syndicate those reviews. We can't guarantee we can get 100% of the reviews into Google reviews, but we absolutely can get 100% of the reviews into Google posts. And as I said, Google My Business is free. So if you don't have a Google My Business, they call it a Google My Business listing. If you don't have that set up, so as I showed George on that first one, you can set it up in your own name. You can set it up in your business name. You can do it either way. So if you're a mortgage broker that just works as a sole practitioner, you can absolutely set up your own Google My Business listing page. If anyone's got any questions about that, we'll send out some more information about that as following up from this webinar. So it looks like no other questions. So yes, I have. James has said, some of my reviews haven't captured a picture of the property. Is there a way of inserting the property? James, yeah, sometimes it doesn't capture the picture. We are working on a way. We'll hopefully launch that in the next few weeks. I hope the mortgage broking team's listening to me there. But yeah, there will be a really simple way in the not too distant future where you can go back and just quickly upload a picture. So we default it back to Google, to Google Street Images, but Google doesn't always pick up an image either. So we are working, the guys are working. It's not the first time we've had that request. So in the not too distant future, you'll be able to really simply upload an image of the property. So it's a really good question, James, and we're on it. So I think that's it. No other questions. The only thing, Emma's just reminding me here that actually I do have to remind you that if you're not don't have a Rate My Agent profile at the moment, and you'd like to set one up, please contact us. Actually, here it is. There's a whole lot of information on brokers.ratemyagent.com.au. It's in the chat there. We do have a special offer where if you sign up for a 12-month subscription, you'll get a 20% discount. There you go, Steve. I've given the plug, but really important. We highly recommend that you've got to use any of these digital marketing tools. You've got to commit for a 12-month period. It takes a little while for the SEO juice to start working. It's not something that will happen overnight, but you've got to commit to it for a few months and then it starts working. So please contact us at support@ratemyagent.com.au. We've got an awesome webinar in 2 weeks. We're actually launching Promoter for Mortgage Brokers. I'm not going to go too far into it, but Promoter for Mortgage Brokers is all about accessing Google, Instagram, Facebook's ad networks, turning your reviews into digital ads and promoting them through the different ad networks. Creating digital ads about, do you want to check your interest rate or how much can you borrow? A whole lot of great digital ads that really, which will really cost-effective digital marketing and really, really simple digital marketing. So we're going to launch the beta product of that shortly. In 2 weeks, we're going to have a webinar that we'll talk and discuss how that works. So Emma's just told me here that I've given you all the wrong email address, mortgagebrokers@ratemyagent.com. So that is mortgagebrokers@ratemyagent.com. Emma's just put it in the chat there, and we'll also follow up with an email. So you contact our support team. They will help you and give you that 20% off deal for a 12-month subscription and get you started. So I think that's enough for me. So Tracy, how much does it cost? It's the base level subscription is $49 a month and the pro subscription is $99 a month. There's a whole lot of other features that gives you. I've just spoken to you about Google My Business and search engine optimization, and Tracy, it's so bloody important. Really, that stuff's really important. But as a part of our subscription, you also get access to our social media manager, which means you can auto post into Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. You also have access to our review widgets, which means you can syndicate your reviews across into. Emma's just put the pricing page in our chat there as well, Tracy as well, and Yeah, and Tracy's got her phone number there, so I'll leave that with you guys to work out. But there's a whole lot of features there. Soon we'll be releasing, I don't want to say soon, but in the future we'll be releasing access to our API, so you'll be able to syndicate your reviews to your own website via our API. So there's a whole lot of things that are coming. So I think that's enough for me, unless there's any other questions coming through, which it doesn't look like there is. I hope I've answered everyone's questions. Looks like I have. Hey, I'm going to the pub this afternoon, so you know, as I said, we're out of lockdown. I'm going to go and have a couple of drinks for the first. Well, I've had drinks, but I'm going to go to a pub to have a drink for the first time in a long time. So thank you so much. We'll see you. We'll see you in 2 weeks when we talk about our promoter product. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.